Good evening, YouTube. How you doing? It's your boy, Kaiser the Final Brave, joined with the rest of the Otaku Clubhouse. Kumaso and Bancho Gato, aka Young Wild Nigga, aka Your Drug Dealer. How y'all doing?
Hey.
I'll just go with a regular old hello.
It's that time again.
Unfortunately.
Everybody fucking up in 2020. And this week is no fucking different. Akuma, what's the first thing we gotta talk about today?
Alright, so if you somehow avoided all of the bullshit going on between Apple and Fortnite, or, well, Apple and Epic Games, here's the short version. So, Epic Games, in order to, I guess, break free, or at least they're claiming to break free of all of the restrictions that the Apple Store and the Google Play Store have when it comes to monetization, have decided that they were going to start putting cheaper in-app purchases within Fortnite. But in order to get these cheaper in-app purchases, you could go straight to Epic and give them the money, i.e., you would go on to Fortnite and you would say you want to buy some V-Bucks or whatever. So you can see the option, buy these amount of V-Bucks for $9.99 on the store, or buy them for $7.99 directly from Epic. Apple and Google didn't like that for obvious reasons, and, well, they removed Fortnite from the fucking Play Store and from the Apple Store.
Finally, after 10,000 years.
Here's what's kind of messed up about this. So, let's just get this out of the way. These are fucking billionaires and huge corporations fucking throwing their money around and trying to manipulate people who are fans.
Children.
Yes, children. But this is what they're doing. Epic decided that they wanted to do this because they're claiming that the 30% that Apple takes from all purchases, all in-app purchases and whatever else from the store is anti-consumer and what's the other word? Anti-business, anti-capitalist, or something like that.
Come on, dudes.
But that was their claim. And they're claiming that this is this huge thing. This is them stepping up to Apple or Google. And admittedly, Apple, I'm thinking, is a much bigger thing than Epic Games. Like, they're a much bigger corporation. But here's another thing, and I need everyone to keep this in mind. When it comes to Fortnite and Epic Games, as soon as this happened, within, I think it was less than, a week? I think it was like a couple of days, actually. Within like a couple of days, Epic came out with this commercial or something, emulating that old Apple commercial where, you know, the lady runs and she throws the hammer at the giant screen.
The fuck, that's Nike commercial.
Yeah. Well, they came out with like a Fortnite version of that.
Ugh.
And it's like that happened within a couple of days. So I want people to think about the fact that they had this fucking ready. They knew that this was going to cause a stink, and they knew that they could manipulate children by showing them something like this and saying, hey, look, we're fighting against the man. The man is holding down your Fortnite. Without us on the Play Store, we might not be able to give you all of our Fortnite. So, help us. Join us in fighting against Apple.
You gotta
fight our battle for you.
Fight the power by going and getting your mom's credit card and reading those numbers and the 3 numbers on the back. Buying some V-Bucks. I can't stand this shit. Because only stupid people and children will believe Epic's fucking excuse that Apple was taking too much off the top. Oh, nigga. They're the reason why you're that big. Is because Apple and Google Play Store host your fucking app. You can't deny that. You can't just suddenly fucking go against all the business agreements that you fucking benefited off of mutually for the past 2 to 3 years just to be like, oh, well, you see, us undercutting our fucking publisher. See, that was just us taking back our power, our response. Like, no, dude. It's so transparent. Everybody's making fun of them. Uh, I can't rock with this shit at all. I hope this serves as a lesson to anybody else who wants to fucking do this shit. I'm sure fucking Bobby Kotick was like, man, if only I could do this with the COD points. But he's smart enough to realize that well, no, if you do that on fucking PSN or Xbox Live, Microsoft and Sony will fucking delist you so fast. You won't even have time
Yeah.
to fucking comprehend.
Yeah, it's fucking, it's fucking, like I said, it's fucking giant companies arguing over getting every penny that they can out of you. It's not anyone trying to be pro-consumer or anything. These are just big companies fucking sending their fans out to go and fight for them. And if you have a fucking stake in this, right? Like, say you fucking like Fortnite or something, then go ahead and say, I'm more with Fortnite on this. I don't have any stake in this. I couldn't give less of a shit. But if you fucking want to say you stick with them, fine. But don't go out and fucking market for them. Because that's what they want. They want free marketing. And they know that they're going to get it from children.
Now, I just want to say, how the fuck is some kid gonna fight for you, dude? What? Why do niggas take this Twitter shit so seriously?
By giving me money, what are you talking about?
No, you get nothing from. Ain't got nothing for you, Playboy.
You're not fighting for me. You out here making me die in these fucking streets.
Yes.
Well, yeah. At the end of the day, it was just a stupid gamble, a fucking pointless gamble, and it didn't pay off.
Yeah.
I mean, as of right now, we're not sure if it paid off. I mean, there's still a chance that they're going to, like, Epic isn't going to lose a sizable amount of business because of this. There's going to be maybe like a few 13-year-olds who don't know how to operate their fucking mom's phone or their fucking, I don't know, fucking tablets well enough so that they can't sideload Fortnite into their fucking system. But aside from that, like, they're not going to lose enough business for it to be negligible.
No,
for it to be negligible.
Bring back Fortnite, you fucking bitch. Can you imagine? What's the next topic that we have for today? How about we continue on the similar sort of wavelength and talk about how Crunchyroll, the infamous, used to be a fucking fan sub site, used to be one of those, oh, you should never pirate anime for any reason type sites, turned official, started realizing that being official means you need money, and now they're potentially having to be bought out by
Sony, unfortunately.
Yes, which would be that would be Sony owning Crunchyroll and Funimation. So
yeah. So I am not. I'm of the mind of I'm one of those people who I kind of accept Crunchyroll in the sense that, like, they do get the anime over here fast enough. Are there fucking subtitles on point all the time? Fuck no.
Are they?
They're just.
Are they telling the truth about? Oh, we're supporting the industry. Honestly, truly, all the money you give to us is gonna go right back to all those individual animators. Probably not.
Are they fucking paying their subbers correctly?
Probably
Fuck no. But I think that they are more of an acceptable group to have around than Funimation. I think that Funimation at this point, Funimation is like if you had like a girl, if you had like this girl that you fucking loved, and like you were fucking like you grew up together, and like she was like your childhood friend. You went to fucking elementary, middle, and high school together, and you were finally about to get together with her. But then you were just on like the last day of school. She walks out into the street, and then Truxon comes and hits her, and you're like, no. And then like you come back a couple of years later, and then you're just like, wait, how is it? And then she's fucking rising from the grave, and you think, oh, you're a zombie, but can I still love you? And then, oh no, she's actually possessed by a fucking demon. That's Funimation.
What the fuck are you talking
What are you
about?
talking about? Okay, so for those of you who don't know, you're not aware somehow, like the whole thing with Funimation is like they started as a small Texas dubbing company, and that's where you get most of your iconic '90s dubs, like Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball. What else did they dub?
I could get you a list, but like
A
offhand,
lot of
I just
fucking '90s anime was dubbed by the small group of people in Texas, right?
yeah, just a fucking an absolute just like a ton. If you grew up around like the early 2000s, late 90s, then you've probably heard a Funimation dub if you
You most
watched
likely heard
anime.
of Funimation dub, and then I mean, we always kind of knew that, yeah, they're changing the script to match the voice flaps or whatever, because back then people didn't either they didn't have the editing software to make the flaps, change, or it was expensive. So scripts would be changed. Goku's dad became a brilliant scientist, stuff like that. But it's just like, as long as the gist of the story is being translated correctly, then that's fine. Like we didn't realize it was like localization back then. But as time goes on and as Funimation amasses more influence and power, becomes a bigger company, becomes eventually a national company, then an international company, starts subbing anime, that's where you start running into the issues of like a Funimation. Like, you keep hearing these things, it's like Funimation changes script, stuff like that. And then when they became a streaming service, it became even worse because do you guys remember that fucking hell era that we're currently on the back end of, where every single fucking streaming site had different anime exclusives, and it was like, if you were legitimately watching it, quote unquote legitimately watching anime, then you have to be subbed to like fucking Viz, Crunchyroll, Funimation, Netflix, Amazon Video, like
Hulu.
Hulu. Yeah, that is absolute bullshit. And that's the one thing I can't stand. This is a bit of a sidetrack. Can't stand when people are like, "Oh, you should never pirate anime for any reason. If it's not available in your region, then you're not meant to watch it."
Don't incriminate yourself. Just move on.
Bro,
I ain't
it's
gonna
not.
let my nigga
Look,
incriminate
It's
himself.
not
Just
I'll
incrimination
just
to
say
say that I
this.
watch anime.
Don't listen. Don't listen. Don't listen.
Anyway,
Look, I will just say this. I think that like Funimation has all of the animes that like are usually pretty popular, or at least the shonen anime that most people have heard about, Fairy Tail, Dragon Ball, One Piece, Attack on Titan. And Crunchyroll has like a few of the other, like they basically just have anything that comes out of Japan for the most part. If Funimation absorbs, well, they probably, I don't even know, they'd probably not completely absorb Crunchyroll, but if this were to happen, it would mean that there would be more things on a single service, which is good. The problem is I do not like any of the news that comes out of Funimation. There's too much fucking circle jerk
yeah,
going on
scumbaggery.
in Funimation. And again, keep in mind, this is coming from somebody who fucking deals with the fucking wrestling industry. Like, I know about fucking circle jerks going on behind scenes.
So we all know about the whole hashtag kick Vic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff. I can't stand shit like that. I can't stand the notion, right, that you would fire somebody for something your entire group is guilty of because they refuse to participate in your fucking weird sex orgy.
let's not heave on some of our beliefs, what we
Yeah,
believe happened,
allegedly,
into the
allegedly,
actual
allegedly,
news.
allegedly,
Alleged.
allegedly.
Like there's other things going on in the anime industry that have been fucking, the anime industry on the whole has been kind of like shitty for the past what, week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
4
If
years, 5 years,
for
ten decades.
any for anyone who hasn't been following, currently the Act Age author, if I'm remembering, I'm trying to remember dude's name, Tatsuya Matsuki, has actually been, I don't know if he's currently incarcerated, but he's been arrested for molesting some middle school girls or junior high girls. I can't remember, but he was molesting girls. And some people said that this was he was riding on a bike and just going around and fucking molesting women or something.
How does a weekly shonen artist have time to do? Well, I guess that's why he was on the bike.
Here's the thing. Supposedly he was talking. Supposedly he was talking in one of the little end pieces that they have for mangas and stuff. In one of those for Act Age, he was like, "Oh man, I've really been getting out of shape lately. I need to get myself a bicycle."
Oh, that is
Oh my
that's
So,
unfortunate.
so for whoever doesn't know, Act Age is a manga about a girl who is aiming to be an actress, and she comes from like a not that great home. She's almost poor, and she's really good at method acting. She's a great actress, and the manga centers around her. The I've read some of the manga. I'm not finished. I haven't finished it yet, and no, I'm gonna finish it because you know what? I'm gonna try to read through this. It gets a little tough when you really consider a lot of
Bro,
stuff
how are you
in the
reading this? It's
background.
gone from everything.
Oh yeah,
Don't incriminate
yeah.
yourself.
They look like straight up. If they fucking removed it. Everybody, all the American companies basically removed Act Age because of what happened to the writer. At this point, they were like, "Fuck it, nobody can read this because of obvious things."
Which is
But
kind of bullshit, but we'll get into that later.
yeah, which is kind of silly. But as was said by the author of We Never Learn, which is a harem manga that's currently running in Shonen Jump. It's pretty popular. I think it's bad, but that's a story for a different time. As was said by the writer of We Never Learn, when it comes to Act Age, he was very upset because he's a fan, but he ultimately feels bad for everybody in the editorial department and the people on the stage doing the stage play, as well as the fans, because what's essentially happening is Act Age is being erased from Shonen Jump. Like, it's being treated like it didn't fucking happen. And that's honestly surprising to me, considering what had happened here, when you also consider what happened with the Toriko writer. This was something that was brought up to me by a friend of ours. Shout outs to our friend Kyra Man with Anime Rest Stop. He brought this up to me, that the writer of Toriko was actually arrested in 2002 and convicted of violating child prostitution laws, in which he paid a 16-year-old girl about 80,000 yen, which is roughly $800, a little bit less, to have sex with him, and as a result was arrested.
I mean, that really made me sad because like I love Toriko. I thought that was better than like Naruto when it was coming out. Man, it was had fun characters, cool fights. I was
No,
just mad
honestly,
how they kept trying to push it to be. It's like a fake big three.
nah, it wasn't fake. According to Kyra, man, this was the natural thing. They wanted it to be like Shonen Jump themselves wanted it to be one of their popular series. But yeah, it
well,
did escalate too fast, too quickly. But I guess there's context behind that now.
the context behind that is the fact that the writer of Toriko is apparently friends with Oda, the writer of One Piece.
No, I mean the context behind why it started escalating too fast, too quickly, inorganically. And
Yeah,
man, I feel bad for Oda because he's friends with the Toriko guy. He's friends with the
with the
Rurouni
Kenshin
Kenshin
writer.
guy.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So I'm not saying that in any way people should do this with fucking Toriko. Like here's my belief on this, and fucking if anybody has a problem with it, like straight up ask me and I will explain exactly why I feel this way. The writer of Toriko did something wrong. He committed a crime. And then he fucking was arrested, and according to the law, afterwards, he got out.
He paid his dues to society.
He paid his debt to society. What he did later in life, you never know. You don't know if this man went to fucking counseling, got his shit together. He later on made Toriko. People liked it, and he worked hard. So, yeah, he may have committed a crime a while ago, but guess what? Like, he served his debt to society, and, like, there should be nothing, what's the way I'm looking to say this? There should be no stigma around his work right now. Because afterwards, he went and, like I said, he paid his debt to society. The Kenshin writer paid his debt to society,
paid his debt to society.
Like, quite literally paid. He fucking, how much was it? He paid like $5,000 and it went away. The Act Age writer
I don't know.
Hasn't
paid his debt to society.
He has yet to.
But here's the thing: I'll play devil's advocate because I somewhat agree with you. I don't think the work should suffer because of the creator. But that being said, I think the context we're looking at here is that like the cultural context of Japan, what the Toriko artist did, while bad, it's actually like a societal problem in Japan. The whole underage compensated dating. And I can see them slapping him on the wrist rather than being like, "Oh, you fucking scumbag, you piece of shit. We'll never support you again." So I understand when they do that. It's less understandable with the Kenshin guy because he was just straight up looking at child pornography.
Yeah, but the
that's
difference is
also
that the
problem
Kenshin
in Japan, like society.
Yeah, you see, the thing is, the Kenshin writer though, there is the argument that yeah, he was, but he was in possession. He did.
You can't
he himself
prove
didn't.
that he watched
he himself. Well, no, he himself never participated, even though he was in possession.
The fact that you're in possession of child pornography means that you're indirectly, you're fucking, because a victim had to be. It's the type of stuff like a fucking snuff film. Like a victim is produced by producing the art. So I'm assuming paying for that shit, you're literally exploiting children. But yeah, whatever.
And I'm not. Again, look, what we're saying is all this is bad.
But yeah, all of this is bad, right? But as far as the Act Age guy goes, there's no excuse. There's no fucking that's society. The nigga was going around drive by fucking.
That's so fucked up. Like,
how? Where did he get this idea, dude? Jesus fuck. So I can somewhat understand why they're like, no. No.
Yeah. So just to end this little part right here, the Act Age manga, you could go and read it. I was looking at just the final chapters to see what happens. Don't get too into it because there's literally like there's literally like an arc that was getting set up, and then like the next chapter, it just straight up does like a full on stop, and it's just the end.
You
So
can't
don't get too
expect
into it.
a thought out, fleshed out ending.
Yeah. Then also, the stage play that was for it got canned. I feel bad for all the actors and the fans, and like I said, it's a bad situation, and we'll just have to see. You never know what's going to happen. I will say, if you can stomach the idea, then at least look at Act Age, because it felt like it was going somewhere. It felt like it had a chance.
Yeah. Positive. Something. Well, positive for some people. Also in the anime industry, you got the Inuyasha franchise continuing with
That shit ain't positive.
Yashahime.
That's another cursed place to
It's
find
another
our
fucking
fucking race,
cursed.
dude.
So the trailer came out. I think no, we planned to talk about this on the last podcast, but it was just screenshots at that point. So the trailer came out. You get to see the premise of the story is more time travel bullshit. Somehow, one of Sesshomaru's daughters, who's like a reverse trapped, a tomboy, gets trapped in the future, separated from her family, raised by Kagome's little brother, who's a fucking adult now. All of this is weird. All of this is fucking weird. Finally goes back in time, meets up with her cousin, Inuyasha's daughter, who's just like female
Yeah,
Inuyasha, looks
Mahoro
exactly like him. It's fucking weird. And
meets up with
her
her. Meets
sister.
up with her sister. I think they're twins.
Yes,
I think.
twins.
But yeah, the sister is I think raised not by Kohaku, Sango's brother. I think she's raised by somebody from that clan, like possibly Sango and Miroku's son.
Bro, oh my god, I just thought about this. This is another fucking weird Boruto situation where all the kids are similar ages, which implies something that I don't think the mangaka thought of, the creator.
I didn't think about that. I really didn't think
Don't
about
do
it.
that.
Oh my
Don't
god.
do no 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 no. Hold on. Don't do that. Don't leap to
I'm
conclusions, bro.
like I shouldn't. Yeah, like if you think about it, shouldn't
Stop thinking. Turn your brain off, please.
Sesshomaru's daughters be much younger than Inuyasha's?
Stop.
Okay, yeah.
See, and you want to know the real problem?
What?
Just from looking at them, they look older than Mahoro.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's the time travel. No, it can't be because one of them is in the past.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, the moral of this story was, if you're an Inuyasha fan, for some reason you wanted to see it continue, even though it fucking dragged on for such a long time, you should be on paper excited for this. It's just gonna be more of the Inuyasha world building, the characters with less of the fucking Miraku, his miasma.
If you really think they ain't gonna find some way to bring fucking Naraku's bitch ass
bring
back
Naraku back as a fucking
That's what they did in every single fucking arc.
as a kid, as a femoid. Nah, stop.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I liked Inuyasha at one point. I'm not afraid to admit it.
Nah, I'll agree with you.
I thought, like, I would wake up at fucking 4 a.m. and catch, like, the fucking ending theme going with Inuyasha on Adult Swim all the time. Or wake up at 1 and catch that same episode sometimes playing. Sure. But, I enjoyed Inuyasha. I played some of the garbage games that they had for it, too. I'm actually really surprised that Inuyasha, among all of the animes that were possibly out at the time, that one just hit so hard. Like, so many people got into it.
I mean, it had a lot of stuff that was popular with Americans at that time.
It had a lot of stuff that became popular.
You had Angry Mode. You had fucking the edgy rival brother. You had
all the stuff that DMC copied.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Inuyasha was hardcore Fujoshi bait.
I can't say I agree because back then, I don't know. I don't know. I was on the
Dude, have
internet
you ever
back then,
seen?
but I don't know. I never met fucking Fujos being like, oh yeah, I ship Inuyasha and Shishomaru. Was just like you would get laughed up the fucking room, dude. It was
Have you ever?
heterosexual ships only.
Yeah, but
Based.
have you ever seen? Have you ever seen Rumiko,
Uh,
the writer of Inuyasha?
yes.
She seems like the typical Fujoshi.
Well, she
Like,
made that fucking. You fucking made me aware that she made Rama and she made the green haired tiger bitch.
yeah, she made Lum.
Lum,
Like
yes.
she's very much a highly respected mangaka.
So I'm
Like,
not sure how much of a Fujo she is. Oh, maybe she's a Fujo. Ramna was pretty fucking suspect.
yeah, but that's like, I don't know. I'm This isn't to take away from the other things that she made because, like I said, Urusei Yatsura and Ranma One Half, very popular. I haven't gone back and watched through them, so I can't talk for their quality.
Right.
Inuyasha, I think maybe the manga's better, but straight up, I think that the quality of Inuyasha is not very high.
It's all because it got dragged out by the fucking 1,000 Dragon Balls. We got to get all the 50 billion pieces of the fucking thing. I forget what the name of it is.
The Shikon Jewel.
Yes,
Nigga, it was
yes.
called the Sacred Jewel. Don't do that.
What?
Nah, they
It's the
called it the
same
Sacred
shit,
Jewel,
dog.
dude.
They did call it the sacred jewel
Wait,
shard
hang on, wait. When did they call it that?
in
In
English.
English, they called it the Sacred Jewel.
I only watched the English dub, and all I've ever heard it called was the Shikon Jewel.
You tripping? It was the Sacred
Bro,
Jewel.
I think you got warped into the Berenstein Bears universe. The Berenstein
swear, like-
borders.
But I shouldn't remember, because I've never watched the Japanese dub of Inuyasha, but I definitely remember hearing Shikon Jewel at least once or twice. No, I heard it a couple times because in order for me to fucking remember it so well,
So
like,
I'm
am I mistaking this for another series?
I'm in a weird spot because I read the manga of Inuyasha because I couldn't fucking stay up to couldn't stay up to watch the anime. Who could, dude? So after like the first arc or the first two arcs, I read 2 volumes of the manga and then I dropped that shit because it was fucking neandering. Like, but I think it might be Shion in the manga. Like,
Yeah, no,
yes.
they do call it the Shikon Jewel.
Yes.
Like, I don't know when did they
but
change?
I do
Did they just like
definitely
start calling
remember
it something
Sacred Jewel Shard.
I wonder if they changed it.
They
like,
might have.
midway through.
They might have. The moral of the story is, well, there is no moral to this story. I hope the show is good, but it makes me feel fucking awkward.
I wonder if Kikyo is gonna come back again.
How
would
the
be
fuck?
very
Well,
weird.
she might be a reincarnation or something. Wait, no, Kagami is already. Let's move on. That was always a stupid plot point. It's like, oh, Kikyo's been reincarnated, but she's still alive.
Dude, fucking Inuyasha, in the original Inuyasha, fucking no one died. Fucking Kohaku's dead. Oh, he's back, and now he
he's
doesn't
back.
remember anything.
He's dead. Oh, he's
Fucking,
back.
I fucking hated that shit. That was
Sesshomaru's
some
mom
fucking-
is dead. No, she's just chilling in hell, but then she died for real.
Whatever. You guys got any? Is there any other bullshit anime news to talk about?
Yeah, nothing for anime. We're all done. So for all 3 of you who tune in just for the anime news, bye.
Let's move on to fucking more video game news. So the Dragon Ball, what was it called? The Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
I don't know what the
what was
name of
it?
these things are.
Broadcast, whatever.
Special
Fucking-
broadcast experience.
The Dragon Ball Z Goku Buddy experience happened, and they revealed Master Roshan for all the people who are really excited about him. And they also announced that they are working on rollback. Are they?
It
Am I
was
reading
it
this right?
was kind of because like the producer, the nice lady, I forget what her name is off the top of my head, the one who wasn't in the fighting game dev roundtable because she was feeling fat.
Jesus Christ, Harada.
Jesus. But she came on and she was like, yes, we have heard a lot of people talk about rollbacks, and while we would like to implement it, we cannot do that at the current time. It's just like, yeah, that makes sense. It's fucking COVID. You can't even, you would have to restructure. To implement rollback into a game that already exists, you kind of have to restructure the way that, the frames are rendered and how they send information, right? But
Especially if it's like a 3D game.
yes.
And Dragon Ball Fighter Z is it's a really weird type of 3D. So I can imagine that there would be like weird instances of like Goku does a kick and then suddenly his fucking lower body is somewhere else on screen while his legs flash to them.
So the way she phrased it can be interpreted multiple ways. It can be like they're considering adding it to Dragon Ball Fighters, which it would be at the end of its lifespan. But you can also interpret it as a way that like probably is a definite. It's like the next Dragon Ball Fighters game, like Dragon Ball Fighters 2 or Super Dragon Ball Fighters or some shit like that, will almost definitely have rollback netcode in it. Because if you build the game from the ground up, then it's very easy to implement. And a lot of people are getting fucking butthurt because they didn't get what the fuck they wanted. Because, oh man, I expect stuff to just fall in my lap. It's actually, they don't realize how big a deal it is for a Japanese developer to at all say, to even acknowledge rollback, because Japanese people didn't invent it and they get very
Well,
butthurt.
that and the fact that like here's the thing. Everyone who's complaining about rollback and they're like, why aren't these Japanese devs listening to us? Number one, you're not speaking their language. Number two, you're not the key audience. Just because a game gets released worldwide doesn't mean that these Japanese devs are like, oh, we have to make sure that all of our American players are taken care of.
Actually,
it's like, no, they're more
no, no, no,
they
no, no,
they
no, no,
listen.
no, no, no. You're actually incorrect because we looked this data up. Harada tweeted this on his Twitter. Over 50% of sales for Japanese fighting games are sold in America. So they kind of are, but they kind of aren't. I get what you're saying. Like the online part, they make sure it works for Japan, and like all the shittiest netcode in the world will always work in Japan. But that being said, they should be considerate of their American audience.
I'm not saying that they shouldn't be. I'm not saying that they should just be like, oh, fuck the Americans. What I'm saying is the fact that they're Japanese devs, and most of the time, the people who are going to be paying attention to this are going to be paying attention to their Japanese audiences. Because, again, they're Japanese. And
That's
especially
traditionally
when it
how it's been.
yeah, and especially when it's like the majority of players who are playing this game, like as much as everybody likes to be like, oh well, they're not taking care of the community. It's like the community that plays this fighting game seriously, are going to usually be a small group, unless it's a long running fighting game.
And
Like
everybody else apparently doesn't care. Like 60% of fighting game players are on fucking Wi-Fi. So
yeah, and it's like if you want to look at the Melee community, like anyone who's playing Melee now is a fucking hardcore Melee fan, or somebody, or like maybe the occasional person trying to get in sneaks in. It's been around so long that everybody who doesn't give a fuck is gone. But if you look at say like fucking Smash now, it's like that game has infinitely more fucking casual players than it does serious players.
right, it, like as a fighting game fan, the only hope you can have, because it is a hope, right? you're putting a lot into other people, whether that be hoping that developers make a stable online, hoping that your opponent isn't a fucking mongoloid who runs torrents and fucking 15 streaming devices while playing on Wi-Fi. it's it's really something that everybody has to, like, at least the people who want to play seriously. It's like, if you are one of those people who like, oh yeah, we need rollback for a better online experience, but you're also a person who can't just go on Amazon and get a fucking 50-foot long Ethernet cable, then you're part of the problem. So you need to examine yourself before bitching that Dragon Ball Fighters won't implement rollback immediately just because you want it. It's just like they are fucking thinking about it. Go ahead.
To piggyback off of that, the sense of fucking entitlement that people with bad internet have just makes me fucking sick, dude. You will always see people talking about, I don't understand why people get mad when my match is laggy and my Wi-Fi is just as good as wired. I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? You can see this shit slowing down. You can see, now, especially now that games have the frame delay displayed for these fucking games. This shit ain't gonna fly no more. People with bad internet need to stop acting like they first class citizens. No, bro, you basically a fucking slave. You shouldn't be looking me in the eye if you play on Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? You should be eating table scraps. You're not a human being. Stop playing Wi-Fi
Jeez.
on fighting games. Stay your bitch ass
Like,
offline. Play training mode.
like he. Jesus Christ.
Let me actually
What?
quote somebody from a certain fighting game Discord I'm in. It's just like, I don't think all lag complaints are invalid, nor do I think people should subject themselves to things they don't want to deal with. But I definitely feel like people call lag when there isn't enough lag to affect the game. That's the problem too. A lot of top players are very dismissive and whiny, when in reality is that they can't handle their own flaws. Bro, you playing a fucking 16 frame connection with somebody from fucking Europe, dude. What are you talking about?
Like, here's like all of us who play here have at least relatively decent enough connections that we're able to play with at the most, like, what, 2, maybe 3 frames of lag or something in just about every single fighting game we play. And we play some fucking shit that requires like single frame links. Like, we play fucking Grand Blue and fucking like Blaze Blue on occasion. So, like, here's the thing, right? If you want to play a fucking fighting game and you want like fucking top level fucking 0 frames drop and like maybe 1 frame at the most or some shit like that, you're gonna have to play in person. And I get it's not possible right now to do that. So guess what? It's just gonna kind of have to suck for now.
Yeah. The fact that I keep bringing it up, but it's like, it's such a big deal that a major fighting game like Dragon Ball Fighter is one of the biggest fighting games right now. The fact that the producer from that is like, yes, we hear you. Like, it's a big deal that Guilty Gear Strive is going to have rollback Namco. It's like, if you don't have to constantly harass with your fucking rollback now, rollback now, rollback now, but bringing it up seems to be working because Tekken also apparently has a rollback that we didn't know. The nigga Harada didn't say nothing until the fighting game roundtable, and Tekken just had a connectivity patch.
That's because Harada's a fucking villain, and he knows he is, and he fucking loves it.
Smash just had a online something. They fixed something. They
ain't fix a goddamn thing.
They did something. They did something. People have been talking about it.
Side note: anyone who's listening to this and you want a fucking decent connection at Smash, go buy a fucking thing so that you can just play with it wired. Like, just fucking do that. Just have a fucking wired connection. It makes it so that the game plays just fine. It plays smooth. I don't know.
You're asking for too much.
If you take Smash seriously, like if you take Smash Brothers seriously, which I fucking don't. I don't. I know some people do. I know Hawk took it seriously for like a couple of months.
Well, I mean, I would still take it seriously if they were tournaments. I've just been a little demoralized to
I
play.
mean, even if you don't take it seriously, but you want to have, you don't want to, you don't want to be playing a coast to coast connection in a game like Aqua Plaza where there's an unblockable fucking zero frame dog. You can't
Hey,
react to
hey, hey, hey,
because of
hey.
lag.
Okay now. Hang
If you
on.
just want
I'm
to have a
sorry,
normal
but
match where
if
you
you
could jump over the
look,
fucking dog.
if you follow somebody to the other side of the screen and you're sitting there fucking mashing away thinking that you got a fucking block string going and the dog comes in and hits you, you have nobody to blame but yourself.
Bro, you acting like one of these fucking entitled ass niggas. Your internet is straight up
You
dog
need to
shit.
examine your
You was
flaws and
stealing
not my
internet from the
connection.
I
McDonald's
will
truck. You
examine
was
no
stealing free
flaws.
Wi-Fi from
I
motherfuckers, dude. Fuck out of here.
I will only examine my
Guilty conscience.
I have no guilty conscience. I will definitely have no guilty conscience when in how many months we'll have Cagliostro in fucking
Cagliostro.
Grand Blue?
Actually, in 2 months, in 1 month, we'll have Belial, which also a side note. When Belial's trailer came out and everybody was talking about him on Twitter, the fucking the Twitter moms were like, "Why are they worshiping this demon?" And then they're like, "Oh, it's just an anime character." I'm very disappointed, bro. What did you mean by
Fucking
this?
fucking if you want to fucking laugh, go and listen to Belial's theme from the Grand Blue games where they're fucking singing English and I swear they don't know what they're saying. I swear they're saying shit in there and I'm just like, do you guys know there's a fucking line in there talking about call me anal retentive? And I'm like,
No, they know what they're saying because the instrumental version of that theme is called Paradise Lost, right? Yeah, very typical name. The lyric version is called Paradise Lust or some shit.
Jesus Christ. That's
Belial
Grand
is
Blue.
very
that nigga swimming in strawberries gay
gay.
as hell. You'll never see
I
him
think
playing that video.
I said this before. I think that like Grand Blue and like fucking Undernight Inbirth are some of the most chuny fucking games when they comes to like their music and their presentation and shit.
Bro, they're like chuny on like two different spectrums. Like you got the fucking yeah, Yahoo fantasy adventure chuny, and then you got the my dark blood fades in the moonlight. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, Belial and Cagliostro are planned to be coming out. Those are the two characters. Well, really only Cagliostro was announced. But
Yeah.
Belial was announced super long ago for some
Before
reason.
the game came out.
Before the fucking game came out, but he's finally getting ready to come out, and most likely around the time that Cagliostro is released, they'll announce the next character for the season. Which, all right, cool. I'm looking forward to playing Cagliostro.
And since Belial, since there's a big quote unquote balance patch coming out with Belial, I think that would be a good time for us to revisit the game and maybe shed some tears about the balance. But no, yes, maybe.
Perhaps. Maybe if they buff my nigga Soriz, give me a reason to play this fucking game.
See, that's the kind of thing. Like, should we talk about the series we're planning?
No,
Um,
not yet. It's too early to
It's
use
too early.
that.
Oh, this hand of mine, I gotta keep it in wraps.
let's talk about it later. This is a project we're working on, and we'll probably discuss it a little bit more closer to the release of the first video. For now, let's wrap up with this one last part about Capcom.
Oh yeah.
Man, esports
Go.
suck, dude.
Please elaborate on the story, Kaiser.
So for those who don't know, Capcom Pro Tour is doing their online tournaments for Street Fighter V. And a prominent player known as Punk had some choice words for his opponent who he felt was being very laggy, being very disingenuous with his lag, and
Compromising the integrity of the tournament, basically.
compromising the integrity of this tournament. And he called him a laggy bitch. Normal shit that you would say, not a racial slur, not a credible threat of violence. He just called him a laggy bitch, which
Yeah,
may or
not
may
an
not have
attack
been
on his
true.
identity, right? Which
But
is the thing that other incidents that have happened in the FGC continue.
and now Capcom decided to. Well, they were going to ban him for this incident, right? They were going to ban him for this incident. But they decided, no, 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 no. That's too harsh. We're just gonna make you start and losers bracket in the next fucking event.
Which, by the way, that compromises the integrity of the tournament when you got the number one seed in the fucking losers bracket. I guess everybody else is just gonna get fucked. Jesus fucking Christ.
And this leads me to, I believe we discussed this a situation similar to this before, where these companies think that they can just punish you and ban you for shit that you do that's outside of their streams or their
Well,
venues.
you got to remember this is Capcom. This is the Capcom World Tour, which infamously in 2016, the code of conduct said no thuggery.
Oh yeah, very true.
Well, look, he didn't commit. He didn't fucking. It's like you guys said. He didn't commit a fucking crime, and even if he did fucking insult the guy, he didn't fucking.
Insult him on the
I'd
basis
say
of
that. I'd say this
identity.
falls. Yeah, I'd say this falls closer under trash talk, if anything, and that should be fine.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm one of those guys who's fucking like, yeah, sure, if you're gonna be in the fucking esports, then play it like a fucking sport. And in sports, I remember fucking Conor McGregor and those other motherfuckers saying curse words, calling each other fucking shit all the time. Like, it's not like he called him a fucking racial slur or whatever else. Like, what's wrong with this?
So this has always been the problem where your only response to incidents where you believe one of your players violated your code of conduct is to just ban them. Then you run into stuff like this where they can't just ban him. He is a multi-time champion of Capcom World Tour. He is like a big face for I really feel like their own shit is biting them in the ass now because if you want, like you said, if you wanted to handle this like a real sport, at most a real sport would just fine them. Like
Nah, fuck that.
actually,
It
I
wouldn't
think
even be a
I
fine.
think
It would
other
be
esports
this would
fine
be
them.
like getting a fucking foul, dude. Yeah, you did something wrong mid game. I'm gonna give you a foul, but see,
Yeah, in the
it's
game.
not a comparison because he did not do it on the property of Capcom Pro Tour. He did it over Discord or something, right?
He did it on Twitter. He called him a fucking laggy bitch, and blah 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 blah. And I guess Capcom. But another thing is, before Capcom did this, which is today as of the time of this recording, yesterday, Punk actually deleted the tweet and he apologized. He was like, "Oh, sorry, I was just in my feelings. I shouldn't have said that. I'm more mad about the net code than about you." Which tinfoil hat on.
Yeah, I
Then
was about to
Capcom,
say
then
that. That's what I was
Capcom
thinking when I
saw
first saw
that,
it
and then
too.
they're like, "Fucking, we would have let this slide if you, you motherfucker." I don't agree with this. I think that I don't know. Like, how do you handle this by not being so soft? by not worrying about fucking PG. You got to be PG off stream for some reason. That it's a little invasive, right?
That's modern esports for you.
Like we've covered LTG and F Champ and what's the name of that one dude?
Look, it's a fucking crazy day in the world where you can always turn back and be like, low tier God was right.
It's been getting proven right for the past couple months.
It'll continue to be proven right.
FGC, I want you guys to look at yourself, look in the fucking mirror, and I want you to say to yourself without cringing, maybe low tier God was right.
Well, it's not even like just low tier guys. There's been many people who have brought up the problems with the modern FGC and the fucking monetization of the soul of FGC. Somebody getting fucking banned for Twitter shit talk. Nah, that ain't it.
I mean,
That's
it's never been it. It wasn't it when somebody got banned for something they said in their own stream that somebody else went and clipped and then showed to people and like pretended. See, like the age of the internet. I don't want to use the infamous CC, the cancel culture. I don't want to see. I don't want to use that because it's honestly becoming fucking cringy and gay to be like, oh, this is why cancel culture is a problem. But I don't think people should be rewarded for snitching. That's basically, oh, ooh, hey, teacher, Punk said something mean. So, I guess we gotta permanently ban Punk from school. We'll see. We'll see how this develops if people just continue. If there's enough blowback from the community, I'm sure Capcom Pro Tour will bend the knee like they did with the thuggery shit. Because, yeah, the whole other forms of thuggery are not allowed. People were like, what the fuck, Capcom? It's kind of fucking racist. So,
thing
I
is, it doesn't
mean,
matter if they bend the knee on this or not because you know they're gonna do this shit again. They're
no,
not gonna. It's not
you
like
got
there's gonna
to,
be a massive
you
fucking
gotta keep
culture
them from
shift
doing
that's
it.
gonna tell them like, hey,
You
okay,
gotta keep them from doing it. You gotta fucking continually fling shit until they become stinky and they want to take a shower. So this has been
You,
the Otaku
you know,
Club.
you always talk about my fucking metaphors and rambling, but the fuck was that?
I mean, it's very self-explanatory. So wrapping up, wrapping up. What are some things that the people can look forward to in the future, Kuma?
death.
Uh,
Shit.
well, yes, death. But one of the things, at least for me, is the fact that I am right now working on a few reviews. Really, just we're getting ready to probably work on our sink or swim, Felix and I, on the Marvel Avengers game, the beta that we played. And I'm also, as of right now, working on a project because I found out something recently that pertains to Zoids. So I am working on something personal that will most likely come out within. I'm not going to give an exact time because I can never actually fucking find time to finish my shit. So I'll just say, if you're a fan of Zoids in any way or have a passing interest, just, keep an eye out for something that I might post on the channel.
All right.
You guys?
Uh, I've been running around an idea in my head about, maybe streaming something on the channel, but I won't make any concrete plans either. Nothing from Hawk.
Man, ain't a goddamn thing that I'm doing. I'm gonna do something complaining about something. I'll upload a video. Maybe complaining about how people don't understand what it means to have soul in games anymore. Maybe why I hate Deku
I'll
so
upload a
fucking
video.
much.
I'll make a video. It'll be funnier that way.
We'll see what happens.
Run the outro music. Everybody say goodbye. Nobody? Okay, well, I'll say goodbye. See you, everybody.
Just edit it
Catch you in the
in.
next one. Yeah, I'll just, you know what? Sure.